Good afternoon, everybody. Steve Raiken here with the Raiken Profit YouTube channel, coming back to you guys with another live show. In today's show, we're starting a new little series, and I'm always trying to get creative and find new fun ways to interact with you guys and teach you and also, educate myself as well. Here's a new thing that I'm going to be doing. It's called Pick or Pass, and I'm going to be going around analyzing various products to help train, especially the new people, but even the intermediates, if you're maybe getting into a new product, to train you in terms of how to analyze a product to decide if you're going to pick or pass the item. So we're going to do no less in this video. We're going to be analyzing approximately 10 various books, and we're going to be analyzing them as if we are Amazon FBA sellers. This isn't going to be for merchant sellers. It's going to be for FBA sellers. That's what we're going to do. We're going to analyze these books. I'm going to share with you whether I would pick or pass, and I'm going to ask you guys in the comments to, for each book, to say if you would pick it, which means if you would buy it, or if you would pass and say, no, I'm going to move on to something else. So this is called Pick or Pass. And yeah, we have 10 books. We're going to analyze it, and we're going to have some fun. Before we get started, let's make sure the audio and everything sounds good. So if things sound well, let me know, and I'm going to do a quick test. 10 books. We're going to analyze. All right. Seems like the audio is working. We got Bobby Moons in the house saying, what's up, Raiken? And what's up to everyone else in the comments? Good to see you, Bobby. Croft Adams, good to see you. Mike Raleigh, good to see you from South Jersey, 73 and sunny. Who goes live when Barcelona and King Messi are on? I do. I'm here to make money. Sorry about that. I can't. Sometimes it's just bad timing. I'm actually in the middle of moving right now, and I've got the Penske truck out front, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff to do, but I just had a lunch break, and I want to come on and jump on with a video for you guys for a quick 30 minutes. So that's what's going on here. Good to see everybody. Let's dive into it. Pick or pass is the game, and we might have a prize for somebody, possibly, if you're super, super engaged. So stick around to the end. We're going to be talking about some cool stuff. So let's dive right into it. And again, for each one, I want you guys in the comments to say pick or pass. So I'm going to be jumping back and forth. All right. So here is, let me make sure you can see that. Cool. Here's the first book that we are going to analyze together. The book is called The Radiology Report, a guide to thoughtful communication for radiologists and other medical professionals. It's a paperback book from November 2nd, 2015. So it's been around for a couple of years. It's not brand spanking new. The first thing you're going to want to do, and this is going to look a little different than how you typically analyze a book out in the field if you're using a scanning app, but this is the best that we can do right now until I figure out how to screen share my phone. So the first thing you're going to do, let's assume that all these books are used, okay? These are going to all be used books. The first thing you're going to want to do is hit used, and what we want to see is what the competition is looking like for FBA. So if you hit Prime, you'll see all the FBA sellers. Right now, I took Prime off. These are all merchants right here, starting at $13.06 plus $4 shipping. And again, to recap, a merchant is going to list the item, store the item at their house. They're going to fulfill the order. When it sells, they're going to ship it. They're going to deal with any customer service if there are any issues. And that's the process as a merchant. And then FBA, you're going to source the product, but instead of doing everything I just mentioned, you're going to ship it out to the Amazon warehouses. They're going to fulfill the item when it sells. They're going to pick it, pack it, ship it, and they're also going to deal with customer service. So merchants are starting at $13.06, and when you hit Prime, there are no FBA sellers. Let's say that we're getting all these books for $2 each. Pick or pass. Now I'm guessing that the fees on, and let me take a step back. The fees are going to vary based upon the size of the book and the weight, especially the dimensions and the weight. The weight's going to play a big role. But off the top, without even knowing what the fees are, would you pick or pass? And what would you sell it at? For me, with the merchants at $13.06, I would probably come in around, and let's analyze this a little more. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back here. Okay. And we're going to take a look to see what the rank is. So the rank is 177,000, 13 reviews. And yeah, 13 is the lowest price as a merchant. Pick or pass. So we got Bob Weiss saying pick. Rank is 177. Sorry, I should have mentioned that to you. So everyone is saying pick, and I am going to agree that I would pick. The reason why, the rank at 177,000 is really good. That book's probably selling a couple times a day or maybe 10 times a month. There's really no way to know. I'm just guessing, but that book is definitely selling. I would probably list that if it's at 13, probably somewhere around 18, 20 bucks, maybe more. I mean, that's a decent rank right there. 13 reviews, it's not a ton. But you know, people have left reviews on it, so it's definitely selling. So I would probably list that at about maybe 18 to 20 bucks. Fees, it's hard to tell right now because I don't have my app on me, but it's probably going to be 7 or 8 bucks. The fees have gone up like crazy. Again, dimensions and weight are going to play a role in how much you're going to be charged for the fees. But again, if you're using the Amazon Seller app, it will show you. I think that's a pick all day long, and you probably would make 5 or 6 bucks profit on that. Maybe less, maybe more. I don't know, but that would be a pick from me. Next up is a book called Fundamentals of Diagnostic Radiology. And I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I actually went to school to become an X-ray technician. I had gotten accepted into the program. My parents were so proud. It was the first time I did really well in school. Had like a 3.9 GPA. And I said, you know what? I want to be a reseller. Well, it wasn't really like that, but I knew I didn't want to be locked into that. I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. But anyways, let's go down here. This is a no-brainer. So looks like the merchants are starting at 119. Somebody actually came in, and it looks like Amazon warehouse deals. So if you're wondering who that is Amazon. Typically, they sell books that are damaged or not in the best condition. They sell it through the warehouse deals, or is it just used? I forgot. If it's anything used, maybe that's it. I think if anything's used, it goes through the warehouse deals. I'm not sure, but typically it's not in the best condition, but other times it may be. Look at their feedback, 82%. $110. This is a no-brainer. Pick or pass at $2. Pick, pick, pick. James is saying pick. Croft is saying pick. Where would you guys price this, though? Because this is very, very interesting. Let's take a look at the price is 110 is the lowest, but let's take a look at the rank. The rank is 462,000. We've got 35 reviews at 4.5 stars. Where would you price this book? You see the lowest, Amazon warehouse deals coming at 110. It looks like the next, there is actually no other FBA sellers. So the book's in very good condition. So it's actually not in poor shape like I thought they initially sold. So maybe it's just all used items. I'm not sure. But anyways, how would you price this? At a 460,000 rank, the lowest is 110. You're coming in as an FBA seller. What are your thoughts? Let's see what people in the comments are saying. So Croft is going to undercut at 90. Rocco is going to undercut at 95. Mike Raleigh's going to 95, 95, undercut it. Sultan Shakir is coming in at 149. Bob Weiss, 140. So we got some people who are willing to wait it out a little bit. Somebody in the comments did mention a website called Keepa. So Keepa is a great website to look into. Also, Camel is another great website to look at to get a better idea of the history of the price. So be sure to check those out. I'll do my best to link those down below. But camel.com and Keepa, just like it sounds, is another great website. Now, Rhonda is saying when you undercut, it starts a race to the bottom. CJ Downing is actually saying you should check out Jungle Scout. And funny thing is, we're actually having the CEO of Jungle Scout, Greg Mercer, coming on the Raiken Profit channel April 25th to talk about how to choose your first private label product to sell on Amazon when you have zero ideas. So that's going to be a lot of fun right there. So that's an obvious pick. Now, where would I price it? It really, really depends. You know, for something like this, you know, at a 460,000 rank, it's moving. Maybe it's selling a couple per week, maybe a couple per month. It's really hard to tell. But I would probably match the price or come in close, just because textbooks I've found they can deteriorate in price fairly quickly. What year is this book from? Because if it's a super, super new book from like 2016 or 2017, I might price a little more aggressively. I don't know if it's okay. So it's 2012. So I might even maybe even go lower, a couple bucks lower, and undercut them, just because it's 2012 and I don't know if there's going to be an influx of people coming in. You know, when you're dealing with something from like Target or Walmart and there's hundreds of sellers, now you don't want to cause a price war, because the repricers are going to start attacking each other. But something like this, I don't see the big deal in undercutting at all. But then again, everyone has their own opinion. Next on deck. Now, this is very interesting because I wanted to share with you guys a box set. A lot of people don't know this, but you can actually sell box sets. Now, obviously, you can't take, from my understanding, you can't take multiple books and create your own listing out of it, from my understanding. But if there's a series of books that initially comes together, you can obviously put them together as a box set. Now, again, I'm not 100% of those rules with lotting books together. I thought that you could, and then I heard from people that you can't. So I'm not exactly sure, but obviously something like this, you can. 12,521 customer reviews. Here's a box set, 1 through 4, paperback. And what we're going to do is look at the used. We are going to hit Prime. So the lowest FBA seller is at $26.95. I want to know if you would pick or if you would pass this. Merchants are coming in at $16.67. Going down to the ranking down below, we have a 94,249 rank, which is absolutely spectacular. Anything under 100,000, really anything under 200,000 or 300,000 is phenomenal in the book category. The book category is gigantic, and you know, even ranks like $1 million, $1.5 million can still sell fairly well, obviously depending on a couple different factors. But would you pick or would you pass this? What would you price it at? Looking in the comments right now, Mike Raleigh is saying pick $15.95. I think that's very, very underpriced, but maybe you're looking at the merchants. Rocco is passing. Steven is passing. So I do want to mention, we are pretending as if we're buying these for $2. And this isn't going to be the most accurate, because you know what? When we're looking at this box set right here, it might be heavy. It might be a pretty big fee. I mean, you could easily get maybe $10 taken out in terms of fees on something like this. Maybe lower, maybe higher. It's hard to tell. But I still think if you price this at $26, you've got some good money to be made, at least a $10 profit. So at $2, I would pick all day long. The rank is great, over 12,000 reviews. The lowest, merchants at $16.67. Take into consideration that the FBA sellers are coming in at 26 and then 31. I would actually price, probably I'd match 31.10, because the 26.95 is going to get wiped out. And actually taking a closer look under the delivery, looking under the delivery, it's actually back ordered, due in stock April 11th. So I would definitely price at 31. I would match that. There's a couple people in there. So that's $10-15 profit. I'm just guessing off the top without looking at the fee. So I would pick all day long. Here we have a book, and this is funny. Chris Green, Online Arbitrage. If you guys don't know Chris Green, he is, you know, one of the grandfathers of selling on Amazon. He's taught a lot of people what they know. He had his first book, Retail Arbitrage, and or just Arbitrage. He has some books on retail arbitrage, online arbitrage. But believe it or not, this book, after quite a few years of being on the market, the lowest FBA is $80.78. So obviously this is a pick all day long. 172 reviews, 5-star. If you guys are looking to learn about online arbitrage, this is a great resource. I haven't gone through this in a while, so I'm not sure if it's dated or not. But knowing Chris Green, I'm sure he keeps it up to date. It looks like it was updated in 2015. So definitely take a look at that book. So Sultan is picking on that. Mike is pricing that at $79.95. Stephen Irwin says, we'll pick and never send it in. Pass just to keep the competition down. Oh, man. Rocco says, my Amazon was on fire last week, and I haven't sold a book in the last 4 days. It's the way it goes sometimes. There's definitely peaks and valleys. What's going on, Tanya? We got Thrifty Treasures in the house. Good to see you. So we have 83 people watching live right now. So if you guys are enjoying this video so far, do me a big favor. You already know. Do I even have to ask what I want you guys to do? Let's just see. I want you to read my mind. What do I want you to do? Let's see. I'm watching. I'm looking at it. It's not going up. All right, you guys. Okay, all right. A couple people are reading my mind. Yes, hit that like button. I definitely would appreciate that. Moving on to the next book. Here we have a book called, we all know this book, The Hunger Games. 56,127 customer reviews. Moving down the sales page, we've got a rank of 1,280. I want to know, would you guys pick or pass? Is there anything else you need to see? Trick question. Of course, you need to see what the price is. Looks like there's a couple people selling this. Only 1,900 sellers. Holy moly. The lowest merchant price is coming in at 78 cents. Looks like they're probably making some money on the shipping. One of those bulk book sellers right there. Looking at the FBA sellers, $5.35. You know, I don't even know how some of these people are making money. Good Vibes Enterprise. He's probably, or she, who just launched, is probably getting hit with at least a $4 or $5 or $6 fee after the fee increase. So this guy, these people are making no money at all, maybe a couple pennies. But would you pick or pass? This is an obvious one. Everybody's passing. Renee Briggs, you're picking. Thrifty Treasure. That is an immediate sale for sure. 1,000 rank, guys. Anything under 50,000 is almost like an immediate sale in a sense in general when it comes to books. But there's just not enough money in this, guys. For me right now, in terms of my book selling business, I'm focusing on books that are at least $12 or $13 paperback. I found that if it's hard covered and it's got any type of weight to it, the fees just eat up the profit too much. You've got to take in the shipping fees. You've got to take in long-term storage fees if it's long tail. You've got to take in into consideration your profit and the time that it takes. So obviously, guys, there's no money to be made here, so I would pass. Horseback Riding for Dummies, April 13th, released in 2007. When it comes to selling books on Amazon, I love dealing with those unique and specific niches. An example of that is horseback riding. And here we have a book, Horseback Riding for Dummies, and the whole For Dummies brand, super popular. Believe it or not, some of these are actually worth money. Would you pick or pass? Looking down at the Amazon bestsellers rank, we have 100,277 rank. Very, very respectable. Looking at the used, looks like we got about 49 offers in total. Merchants coming in at 647. Hitting the prime button on the left-hand side, we see that the lowest price is $7.74. After what I've been talking about in terms of fees and ranks, 47 reviews, would you pick or pass, and why? Stephen Irwin's passing. Lathin Mardlin, good to see you. Passing, hopefully I pronounced your name correctly, but glad to have you here. Suzanne Kaufman is picking. Suzanne, why? What is your reason for picking that book? Are you interested in horseback riding? Brenda is saying, watching you for 3 weeks now, still haven't made started my business. Can you say chicken? You're not chicken. It's tough. It's completely different. I mean, a lot of us are raised to work as the employee, to take direction, and it's a whole different game to be, to be on your own. So, just slowly start taking action. We have Samantha saying pass, Maria's passing, Is like new, the lower, no profit. So let's take a look. That's a good point. Let's see what the conditions are, because sometimes you'll see all acceptables and then maybe, like new will be 15 bucks. So that's another good point I want to bring up, guys. Always look at the conditions. When something's this low, sometimes you could come in and make some money if the conditions are all poor. This, not a good example because the lowest is like new, but let's pretend that was acceptable. Let's pretend, well, this is acceptable. Let's pretend this 880 was acceptable, 899 was acceptable. I mean, you might make a couple bucks at 999, but with the new fee structure, it may not be worth your time. But that is another tip to definitely keep into consideration. Question, excuse me, not a question, a statement. If you guys have any ISBN numbers or ASINs you want me to look up to analyze, if you guys have any books at home, type in that 12-digit number on the back under the barcode, and I will analyze it for you guys live. So I forgot to mention that if you have any ASINs, ISBN numbers, toss them in the comment section and we will analyze it together. Coming up on the, actually we have 3 more. Here's a book, Baseball Prospects 2017. Keep in mind, guys, there are paperback and hardcover versions, so you always want to make sure you're on the correct one. Obviously, if you're going to go hardcover, the lowest is at 37. You're going to buy that all day long. But the rank is 1.7 million. So let's analyze this together, guys. Let's pretend that we can buy this for $2. Let's say it's used. Merchants are at 12.17. Rank is at 1.7 million. Lowest FBA, there are none. Pick or pass. Now, this is very, very interesting. 1.7 million rank, $12, lowest merchant, no FBA sellers, 58 reviews, 4.5 stars. There's a lot of conflicting things going on right now. This is probably the best one. Pick or pass. And I'm going to give you guys my answer in a couple seconds. Crafty Reseller Rita is saying pass. Croft Adams is saying, I assume you pick this one, but it's close. It's definitely close. Blee Dizzle's picking. Dane is picking. I want to know why you guys would pick this. What specifically would you pick this for? What reason? And I'm going to let the comments come in. This is a tough one. This is one of those things where first thing you have to determine is what do you think you could sell it for? I honestly think that, let's see what the news coming in at. So news coming in at 1654. That's Amazon. So all because there's no, sometimes you can dictate the price. If the new price is up at like 50, right, and the used is at 12, you could come in at 25 at times and get it. But since new is $16, Amazon Prime, used is at 12, you're probably not going to get much more than the merchants are asking, to be honest. You're probably not. So you want to know what? In this situation, again, depending on the weight and the dimensions, there's a good chance I'm probably going to pass at $2 because you might only be able to get 12 or 13, maybe 14, but the rank is 1.7 million. And with the long-term storage fees being the way they are lately and the fee increases, there's a good chance I might pass. If I did pick it, there would probably only be a little bit of meat on the bone, maybe $3, maybe $4. So again, that's going to be based upon your risk tolerance and your business model. But that's how I'm looking at it, and that's how I'm analyzing it. So looks like we have some ISBNs coming in, so I'll be sure to get on those in a second. Okay, let's see. Screw these other ones that I have. I want to go into the comments and I want to type in some ISBNs that you guys are giving me, and we're going to analyze these. So let me get back to the comments. Okay, so Sultan, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I apologize. Just gave me an ASIN. I'm going to throw that in there. I'm going to look it up, and I don't see anything. So make sure to double check that your numbers are correct. That one didn't work. Viper, hey, Raiken Profit, glad to catch you live. It's been a while. Viper, good to see you. Appreciate that. Brenda is giving me a number. Let's type that in. For some reason, none of these are coming up. So maybe you have to give the barcode number on the back instead of the ISBN. I don't know why that's not working. Okay, so Jessica is giving me something here. Try this. I might have to type in the 13, but I'm going to see if this works. If not, okay, cool. So here we have a book, and I'm going to assume that this is the book Introduction to Human Factors Engineering. So right now, let's take a look at the feedback. The feedback's 3.5 out of 5, which for books, people are going to have different opinions, but there's 27 reviews, so there's definitely some social proof there. That's a good thing. Going down to the rank, we have 375,269. That's respectable. It's definitely not a bad rank. It's not amazing, but it's good. It's pretty good. So the rank's good. The reviews are good. Let's assume that this is I don't know. We'll look at the paperback. So paperback, the first one's coming in at 54, so that's a buy all day long. Hard covers are coming in at 93 and 141. That's a buy. Buy all day long. Okay, so here's an ISBN. These ISBNs might not be working, but let's see if this works. Okay, so that didn't work either. Maybe I have to put the numbers closer together. I'm not sure which one this is. The Human Body and Health Disease 6th edition. Okay, I don't know which one it is, but let's just pretend it's this one. Theory and Practice of Counseling and Psychotherapy. 599 reviews, amazing. 4.5 stars, amazing. Rank 1.4, it's getting a little high, but if there's good money to be made, I'll buy it. This is probably, okay, so this is a paperback. Let's pretend, okay, yeah, let's look at the paperback first. Used merchants are at 154. $1.54, I could already tell you that this probably is going to be not so good. $7.96, so that's pass all day long on the paperbacks. The hardcovers, though, on the other hand, it appears the lowest is coming in at $39.33, acceptable. Looking at Prime, $64.48, acceptable. So I would probably come in at about $64.94. So I would buy the hardcover. I would pass on the paperback. And you might be thinking, well, Steve, that's a 1.4 million. Why are you buying that? Because at $2 or $3 or $4, there's enough money there that even if I bought 10 of these books, different ones with the same, type of deal, I could make a profit by only selling like 3 or 4 of them, and then the other ones don't sell. So that's kind of like my mindset there. Okay, Sultan. Let's see. 3rd time's a charm. Let's see if we can get this one working. So that was the one that I had shown you. So in the sun by the beach, I have a lot of books in my personal collection that I want to sell. Some are really nice but unusual with no reviews. I am thinking about writing reviews for the books when I have some free time. Okay, Brenda is sharing another one. Let's see if we can get this one to work, guys. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, I think you might have to take the dashes out. The dashes might be causing the issue. I don't know. For some reason, some of these numbers just aren't coming up. So Ernie is asking, how much can you profit from used books? I mean, the potential's endless. I've sold books for over $300. I've sold books for $5 and lost money. It really depends. I mean, you got to go out there and scan the books and analyze the books and try to find them. Thrift stores, garage sales, library sales, Craigslist, OfferUp, flea markets. There's so many opportunities out there for books. It's pretty crazy. Real quick, while I have you guys here, let me switch up my screen. Okay. All right, let me switch up my screen share really quick, guys. Quick plug, guys. If you are looking to get into selling books on Amazon, I talked about this yesterday, and I'm going to be mentioning this probably for the next week. I think this week I'm going to focus on creating content about selling books on Amazon. There's a lot of people who say, Steve, how do you do this? How do you do that? They ask a lot of questions about, various things about a book selling business, and I can't cover it all. Recently, I have been going through this course by my buddy Jim Pickens. I am an affiliate for this. So if you guys are looking to take things to the next level, and maybe I'm not able to connect the dots for you because I'm all over the place just talking about little specific things, this course right here by Jim Pickens, you can find it at raikenprofit.com/bookselling101. If you could go through that link, I would get a small commission, which I do appreciate, but I want to let you know, guys, I've taken a look at this course. I've gone through it. My mother, Mama Profits, who sells books with me as well, she's going through it as well. It's a really good book, guys. It's very detailed. There's tons of videos. He explains things a lot better than I do. He has more experience than I do. He sells more on Amazon in terms of books than I do, and it's a great course, guys. So I would check that out, raikenprofit.com/bookselling101. And you guys know me. If I ever promote a product as an affiliate, it's a good product and it works. So be sure to check that out. All right, let me switch over to my other screen. And we'll get back into the content. Okay, perfect. So let's analyze a couple more books and see what other folks have to say. Looks like Crafty Reseller Rita is giving me another ISBN. And for some reason, these numbers you guys are giving me aren't working. None of them are. It's really, really weird. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I'm literally just copying and pasting it. So if you're looking for the numbers, find the numbers on the back of the book under the barcode. Give me that full set of numbers because the ones you guys are giving me just aren't going through for some reason. Bobby Moons is saying you can use the flow scan on the Amazon Seller app to look the book up. If there is no listing or if there's no ASIN number, which is correct. If you're using the Amazon Seller app, in the top right-hand corner, it's a little camera. Hit that. It'll show all these weird little dots. Scan or just move it over the front of the cover. With some phones, it works better than other phones. My phone, the iPhone 6s Plus, absolutely blows when it comes to using that. For some reason, it just never picks it up. But the Androids seem to do a lot better. So you can definitely use that app and it works great. So Croft Adams is asking a great question. How many books do you normally scan in order to find a profitable one? And for me, it's typically 30 to 40 books. If I'm just scanning everything, sometimes less, sometimes more, but 20 to 40 books on average, maybe less, maybe more. It really depends. But as of late, it's becoming a little more difficult to sell books on Amazon. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to keep it real. Why? Long-term storage fees have increased. Selling fees have increased. And you have to be a little more pickier now with your books. So let's find another book to analyze. What do we have here? Accounting Handbook, 6th edition. Taking a look, only 5 reviews, but they are 5-star. That's not bad. Looking down at the ranking, 70,000. Spectacular. That's a great ranking right there. Looking at the used, 2638 is the lowest one. That is a merchant. Let's see what FBA is coming in at. There's none. So with 2638 being the lowest as used, let's take a look at new to get an idea of how high I could price as an FBA seller. So new is coming in at 2988. So you want to know what? On a book like this, I'm not going to be able to go much higher than the merchants because why would somebody pay more for used versus new? So it's one of those things. Great buy. Would buy this all day long. At $2, you're making a good 12, 14 bucks profit on that. Ernie, I appreciate that. Thank you. Linda says, I'm a new bookseller on Amazon. I sold a book for $9 and the Amazon fees were $8.54. How does anyone make a profit? It depends on the dimensions of the book and the weight. The bigger the book, the heavier it is. I'm not sure how much dimensions play a role in the fees. I know the weight plays a role, but depending on the weight especially, the fees are going to be either higher or lower. So how does somebody make a profit? You buy something cheap and it sells for enough money. It's pretty simple. So, You used to be able to sell $7, $8 books and make a profit, you know, the light paperbacks. Now with the fee increases, it's a little more challenging. So that's why I'm focusing on $12 to $13 books, paying $1 or $2 to make a profit, because the fees are increasing. So the sweet spot's going to be $18 books, $20 books, $30 books. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, Steve, that sounds great, but who in the freaking world is going to be able to find those? They're actually out there. They're out there in abundance. My mother, she's a bookseller. She's been selling books for 4 years, and she goes to Savers. She goes to Goodwill pretty much every single day. And she doesn't find a ton of books. She's not using a handheld scanner. She doesn't do things the most efficiently, but she's smart and she kind of picks. She knows what books she's gone through, so she kind of picks. Again, not the most efficient way, but for her it works. She usually finds 4 or 5 new books a day, spends a half hour, and she picks a lot of $30, $40 books quite frequently. So, you know, there's money to be made out there, but with the fees, you know, you definitely have to, you know, make sure that it's worth your time. In the Sun by the Beach says, a person that I know did very well with eBay down here. However, he has years of experience in antiques, art, and electronics, and he knows how to repair antiques and electronics. So it looks like a couple people are just interacting with each other. Renee says, I am very new to this. What is the name of the app used to scan codes for books again? It is the Amazon Seller app. It's 100% free. Before you can use that, you're going to have to sign up for an Amazon Seller Central account. That's free unless you sign up for the professional account, which is $40 a month. We could talk about that another day, but sign up for an Amazon Seller Central account. Get the app in the App Store, the Amazon Seller app, download it. That's going to give you the ability to be able to scan barcodes, which in turn analyzes books for you. So that's about it, guys. I've got to get running. I am in the middle of moving. I'm moving a town over, so I've got the Penske out in front of the apartment right now. And here I'm just sitting on, I know you can't see me right now, but I'm literally sitting down on the recliner, relaxed, just had a nice lunch, hanging out with you guys, learning a bit, and just want to come to you guys with a fun video. So if you guys enjoy this content, give me a big like. Like I said earlier, I think this week, probably over the next 5 or 6 days, I'm going to really dig deep into selling books on Amazon. So I'm going to be creating content around that. Tonight, we actually have a guest coming on the Raiken Profit YouTube channel. You might know him. He goes by the name of Sam Cohen. And Sam did $20 million on Amazon last year in 2016. He does online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, wholesaling, private label. He's got a consulting company. He manages over $1 billion in revenue for other people's Amazon accounts. He manages accounts that are even Fortune 500 companies. So he's coming on tonight to talk about his journey and his business. And if you guys live in the New England area, he has a conference going on at the end of April in New Jersey, which I'm going to be attending, and it's only $99 to join. So that's like dirt cheap for a conference. So I'm going there. I'll be there into April. Check it out, Ace Conference. I'm not affiliated with that, but Sam's a good friend of mine, and he's got some good content. So should definitely be fun. That's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific on my channel. So should be a lot of fun, guys. Again, if you want to learn more about selling books on Amazon FBA, be sure to check out this course by my good buddy Jim Pickens. And I'm going to be pushing this course pretty hard over the next week because it's really good and it works and it's super detailed. And to be honest with you guys, I can't teach you guys everything within these free videos. So I'd rather point you guys, for the people out there who are dedicated and committed, I'd rather point you guys to somebody who I trust, who I know can take care of you and give you the information that actually works. So if you do want to get that course, do me a big favor, guys, and go through my affiliate link. I'll get a small commission. Helps me out, helps me to keep making these videos for you guys. And yeah, RaikenProfit.com/bookselling 101. That's RaikenProfit.com/bookselling 101. But I want to let you guys know that I really appreciate you all So many opportunities out there right now, guys. It's ridiculous. You just have to start taking action. You know, learn all you can, but then just jump into it. Make those mistakes and, you know, just keep going forward. Don't give up. Don't quit. You know, I quit my job 4 years ago and I haven't looked back. And I started with Craigslist, and then I moved on to eBay and Amazon, and I moved on to Kindle Publishing, and I've launched my own products and affiliate marketing. And, you know, this game of reselling will open up so many doors to you that you would never even imagine. So just get started, stay open to different opportunities, and keep learning and growing. And you can make it happen, whether it's making an extra couple $100 a month, a couple thousand, or even make it your full-time living. So yeah, guys, have a great day. I appreciate your time. Yeah, keep picking and making that money, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Talk soon. Bye.